Shortly after the conflict in the Middle East broke in 2023, an organization known as the Global Peace Initiative set about placing a peace monument in the region. This peace monument would not take sides. It would be a plea for peace on behalf of all the people of the Middle East. And it would continue the Global Peace Initiative's mandate that their monuments be designed by young artists, because kids suffer the most in times of war, and because a peace monument created by a child might more readily reach those who decide between war and peace. But just who is the Global Peace Initiative, and why do they give large public peace monuments all over the world? It all began almost 25 years ago, when an art dealer named Ben Valenti discovered a 10-year-old art prodigy named Alexandra Nikita. Under Valenti's management, Nikita became one of the most successful artists in the world. Soon, several young art prodigies sought Valenti's mentorship, and remarkably, he was consistently able to guide them to success. But Valenti believed success should give back. He created profit-sharing programs from art sales that benefited organizations such as the Special Olympics, the Red Cross, MusiCares, the Larry King Cardiac Foundation, and the Agassi Foundation. Eventually, Valenti wanted something bigger, a way to use the talent of his young artists on a global scale. That dream became the Global Peace Initiative. The idea was simple. Because children suffer the most in war, they should also be the ones to speak for peace. So the Global Peace Initiative began commissioning young artists to create large public monuments to peace and gifting them to nations most in need of hope. It may have sounded impossible, but it worked. After the Tiananmen Square uprising, the Global Peace Initiative created its first monument, a message of peace for the Asian people. The artist?
Alexandra Nikita.
Building such monuments wasn't cheap, and since the organization never asked funding from host nations, they created a unique solution. Each artist would create a maquette, a smaller version of the monument. Those who purchased them became known as monument patrons. The results were extraordinary. The maquettes from Nikita's first monument sold for $12,500, and within 6 months, they were auctioned for over $50,000. On a sunny day in August 2005, the first Global Peace Initiative monument, Let There Be Peace, was unveiled on the lawn of Singapore's presidential palace by President Nathan. The next monument honored John Lennon, the man who sang for peace. It was unveiled in Liverpool on October 9, 2010, Lennon's 70th birthday. Today, it's one of the most visited works in the United Kingdom. When Ukraine was invaded in 2022, the Global Peace Initiative answered once again. After a worldwide search, they commissioned 16-year-old Osbalit Garcia Morales, a young artist from a tiny town in Mexico who painted with genius beyond her years. Her monument for Ukraine was unveiled during Eurovision 2023, before an estimated audience of 140 million viewers. Once again, the maquettes soared in value, proof that art for peace can also create lasting legacy. But peace is always under threat. When hostilities erupted in the Middle East in late 2023, the Global Peace Initiative knew another monument was needed, perhaps the most important of all. It would be a plea for peace for every family, every child, on all sides of the conflict. Finding the right artist took over a year, until one day, by chance, Ben Valenti discovered the website of an 11-year-old Seattle-based girl named Zoya Ashwar. Here was a 6th grader who had already mastered 3 art disciplines and whose heart beat for peace. The Global Peace Initiative immediately offered her the commission, and just weeks later, she unveiled her design. a dove and olive branch that transforms into a paintbrush. It wasn't more than art. It was a vision. Every monument we build begins with compassion and continues through people like you. The Middle East Monument is more than bronze and paint. It is a beacon of hope and a promise that peace can again flower. Your donation will help us complete this historic work and inspire generations to come. Visit peacemonuments.com/donate to help build the Middle East Monument and stand for peace in our time.